The novel Birdsong tells two intertwined stories separated by time, both connected through family. The primary story revolves around Stephen Wraysford and his experiences during World War I, while the secondary story follows Elizabeth Benson, Stephen's granddaughter, who discovers her grandfather's journals and delves into his life through them. The narrative begins before the war, in Amiens, France, where Stephen visits the home of his friend René and his wife, Isabelle. Despite their outwardly happy middle-class existence, René and Isabelle are unhappy in their marriage. Stephen and Isabelle engage in an affair, and this domestic turmoil occurs against the backdrop of industrial workers' strikes. Isabelle eventually confesses the affair to René, leading to Stephen's expulsion, and Isabelle leaves with him for southern France, where she becomes pregnant but keeps it a secret from Stephen. She later returns to her family, and Isabelle's father arranges for her to return to René with her honor intact, though her feelings for Stephen remain. The story then shifts to 1916, during the early stages of World War I, with Stephen as a British Army lieutenant participating in significant battles such as the First Day of the Somme and the Battle of Messines. War takes a toll on Stephen's mental state, although he finds solace in his friendship with Captain Michael Weir and his comrades. Despite the hardships, Stephen remains dedicated to the war effort. After a severe injury in no man's land, Stephen writes a deeply personal letter to Isabelle, expressing his love and fear of death. In 1978, in England, Elizabeth, Stephen's granddaughter, discovers his coded journals, seeking to understand his wartime experiences. She is grappling with her own relationship issues, especially her involvement with a married man named Robert. Returning to 1917 France, Stephen meets Jean, Isabelle's sister, and learns about Isabelle's relationship with a German soldier named Max. Isabelle's face is disfigured by a shell explosion. During a brief return to England, Stephen appreciates the respite from the war. However, upon his return to the trenches, his friend Michael is killed by a sniper. Shifting back to Elizabeth's story, she continues researching the war and interviews soldiers who knew her grandfather. She becomes pregnant by Robert. In the war in France, Stephen and a fellow soldier are trapped underground due to a German mine explosion, and hope seems lost. Stephen declares his love for Isabelle, escapes the tunnel, but succumbs to his wounds and is saved by a Jewish German soldier as the war nears its end. The book returns to England in 1979, where Elizabeth reveals her pregnancy to her supportive mother. She learns that Stephen and Jean married and lived in Norfolk after Isabelle died during the post-war influenza epidemic. Elizabeth and Robert go on vacation, where Elizabeth gives birth to a son, naming him after her grandfather's friend's deceased son. The central theme of the novel is the nature of war and its associated trauma. Birdsong explores the enduring impact of World War I on subsequent generations, particularly through Elizabeth's discovery of her grandfather's experiences. The novel vividly depicts the horrors of trench warfare and the psychological toll it took on its participants. Sebastian Faulks, the author, aimed to revive the understanding of World War I, which he believed was fading with time. Birdsong received critical acclaim and commercial success, leading to adaptations in various forms of media, including the stage, radio, television, and an ongoing film development. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.